Let me tell you something. If you don't like this next map that I'm talking about, if you don't like it at all, I truly believe you are a lesser human and you don't deserve rights, because this next map, you might be thinking, what are you talking about? What map is he talking about? And what game is he? He hasn't even mentioned it yet. And that's because we're talking Call of the Dead on Black Ops 1. Yes. If you don't know what Call of the Dead is, or if you've never played it, I urge you, shell out the $40 or whatever Call of Duty Black Ops 1 is nowadays, because, naturally it's a 15-year-old game. They still sell for full price. Fucking dig up the money, buy the DLC, and play this shit, because this map does not disappoint in literally any way, shape, or form, dude. It's so good, man. And I really, dude, it has George fucking Romero on it. Like, how does that not get any sicker? If you don't know who George Romero is, I'll get into it a little later. We're just doing the intro right now. How's it going, guys? Sorry for the sniffling. I'm still sick. Kind of. I'm not even really sick. I don't know what the hell is going on, man. It's like my nose has never worked properly. I don't know what's going on with it, but it's just something that's happening right now. Hopefully it'll clear up this week, but that's it, man. We're talking Call of the Dead today, and this is such a goated map, man. Brings a lot of cool, interesting stuff to zombies, brings in some cool wonder weapons, brings in a fucking, like, a giant boss tank zombie. The first time we've ever seen something like this. So unique, so dynamic, and I can't wait to hop into it. My name is Jerry Yap. You guys already knew that by clicking on the video, but anyways, let's not waste any more time here. All right, we'll get into it, man. Let's do it. So we get done playing Ascension, right? And we're like, how does it get any better than this, man? This map is pretty rad. I don't know if they can top it. And then the DLC Escalation drops for Call of Duty Black Ops 1, and it drops Call of the Dead. And we're like, okay, sure, let's see what this map has to offer. And honestly, right off the rip, when you spawn in, you see lightning strike down in the water. You see the water bubbling. You're like, oh man, what's going on here? Well, actually, before you even load in, you see a sick ass cutscene, right? You see a cutscene and you're like, wait, okay, they're just taping a zombie movie here. And then the fucking George gets stolen by a zombie. He just kind of goes away. The rest of the crew starts killing zombies, which, by the way, this is the second celebrity cast we have in zombies. We got Danny Trejo, Michael Rooker, Sarah Gellar, and Robert Englund, 4 famous celebrities. Obviously, they're all actors portraying a zombie film for George Romero in Siberia, Russia. So it's pretty interesting, man. But yeah, you load in, you see the water boiling, you see George Romero's huge ass walk out, and you're like, whoa, what's going on here? I mean, we all probably tried to shoot him the first time, right? We definitely all tried to shoot him, and then he got pissed off and killed us within the first second. If I don't remember too well back in the day, because it was a long time ago, but do you guys remember like having to figure out you have to bring George to the water to calm him down and make him slow again? Dude, like, this was a map coming back to that I really, really enjoyed a lot more than I think I did when the game first launched, or the map first launched. I specifically remember back in the day just not really enjoying George that much and thinking he's more of a detriment to the map than he is a positive. But now going back to it, I think he offers like this really unique, cool like gameplay aspect where he's always there. There's always the threat of George. He is killable, but it does take a long time to kill him. It's just something we haven't got on another map up until now. It's just so unique. I really love the challenge that George offers, man. But yeah, it's just a cool. It's very, very sick. We also get Semtexes for the first time to replace frag grenades. Everybody only bought them for the Easter egg, though. Oh, and also this is not the first map, but this map has a playable Easter egg on it that's actually doable solo, which is pretty cool. And the reward you get is the Wonder Waff. if you kill George and you have the Easter egg complete, then you get the Wonder Waff. If you kill him and you don't have it complete, then you just get the basic death machine. And I also believe you get a perk for killing George too, if I'm not mistaken, which is very nice. But guys, I mean, if you don't know who George Romero is, he's responsible for Night of the Living Dead. I didn't know too much about this guy when this map first dropped because I was young, but George Romero is like largely renowned as responsible for like the way modern zombies are portrayed in all of media today. So it's just really cool to see Call of Duty, a title like Call of Duty, just pay homage to that and just have him in the map, you know. He was still alive when this map dropped, but sadly, I think in 2017, he did pass on. RIP my boy. He lives on through the game. He lives on in all of our hearts through Zombies Media. And I just think that's such a really cool, awesome thing for Treyarch to do and Call of Duty to do. And it really pays off, man, because this map has aged so well, in my opinion. It's aged so well. It's still such a blast to go back and play, and it offers a pretty unique challenge, I think. You know, I'm not going to talk about the Easter egg too much because I didn't do it this time, just because I'm just trying to survive on these maps. You know, I'm not trying to go and do the whole Easter egg. Maybe there'll be a separate series or separate videos or something on the Easter eggs, but I can't really see myself talking about it. Maybe when I go back and play the campaign and stuff, and I make the Black Ops video separately. But for now, this is just basic zombie survival. You know, we're chilling. We're just surviving. 0 to 20, no quick revive, as always. And this one actually took me a couple times because not having quick revive, you can quickly get fucked over in this map and just lose. You know, the first thing I'll just explain my walkthrough process here. I basically just go for the MPL wall buy on the boat. And then I just try to use it to farm up a bunch of points. I pray for a double points. Pray I get a double points early so I can just get a fuck ton of points and open up the Juggernog. Get Juggernog. Hopefully just survive until I get to roll the box a bunch to get the Scavenger, because PhD Flopper is on this map, so the Scavenger, Mustang and Sally, all that stuff is pretty viable here. Same with the ray gun. So I just try to survive, try to get my favorite weapons, and then what I do is I leave the bottom door of the lighthouse closed, and then I will run a big train around the bottom of the lighthouse there. And it can get kind of annoying because George can ruin that. So then I kind of just swap locations. If he's there, I'll go to spawn. If he's in spawn, I'll run back to the lighthouse. If he's somewhere between there and I don't want to be there anymore, I'll just go to the boat, start running around. I'll just start running around the whole map on this map. And that's what I like. George offers a very unique area denial aspect to zombies, right? Well, yes, you could still run them on the train if you're careful there, but like I said, I was using the Scavenger, so it's pretty hard to not piss George off when you have the Scavenger, which is sick. I'll get into the Scavenger in a second, but that's basically what I do. I'll get into the unique one of weapons in a second. But yeah, man, that's just cool. This map also offers the return of zip lines, right? I don't think we've seen zip lines since I'm not Shangri-La. Fucking what's that one map? Shinonuma. We haven't seen zip lines since then, and they're actually useful on this map because you can actually traverse the map really well with them. You can go from the big boat and spawn back to spawn. You can go from the lighthouse to spawn, and you can go from the very top of the lighthouse to the boat. So it has like this really triangulated path you can take to have a lot of success with it, and it goes fast. And then while I'm talking about fast travel, I might as well bring up the flinger. The flinger is on the boat side. You stand on it. As long as you have the platform in front of the lighthouse open, it'll fling you across the entire map, which is really good for traversing the map and making that process go quicker, right? So that's fucking cool, man. I love that part of the map, and that was easy, man. That's all. I think I made it to like 23 before I got killed by George. 23 or 24. Probably could have went longer, but like I said, I kind of just give up after 20 and just start fucking around because the challenge is over. I could survive for longer, probably, but we're just bulling around here. We're just having a good gay old time here, and that's pretty much it for the process. I'll get into what I like and hate about the map. There's not going to be much hate. I'm going to be really fishing for shit to hate on this map because this, like I said, coming back to it, one of my all-time favorite maps. I can't lie. I'm going to give it a really good rating at the end. It deserves a good rating too because they tried their asses off with this map and it pays off. It fucking pays off, man. Let me tell you, it's just such a pleasure to go back to, man. So yeah, I'm gonna take a quick break here, collect a bit of my thoughts, and then come back and give you guys the lowdown here. Okay, don't fucking go anywhere. So let's get into what I like about this map. There's honestly a lot to like. There's going to be maybe a heavy bias here towards the map being good because that's just what I think, and this is my opinion, man, and it's my video, so that's what we're going to do. I love the celebrity cast, right? I'm not too familiar with Robert Englund and Sarah Michelle Gellar. I know she's like Buffy or whatever, but I never watched that. The other two, Danny Trejo and Michael Rooker, I'm very familiar with because Michael Rooker played Merle in Walking Dead, and I was a huge Walking Dead fan. So I kind of know where he comes from. And then Danny Trejo is just a legendary actor too. I haven't seen much of his stuff, but he's just one of those guys that's like so recognizable, and he's in a lot of stuff. He was in Breaking Bad as like Tortuga or whatever his name was. So just so iconic, dude. And I know who he is, so it was just cool to see. We're used to the Ultimus crew, Rick Defend, Dempsey, Takio, and Nikolai. We're so used to them, so it's just nice to get a crew like this that's actually pretty sweet and changes up the pace of the dialogue a little bit. You know what I mean? Let's talk about the wonder weapons, guys. So, on Ascension, we didn't get any new wonder guns per se. We did get a couple wonder gadgets, but on this map, we get two, man. I don't know if you'd count the scavenger as a wonder weapon, but I sure do. I'll talk about the scavenger first. The scavenger is a sniper rifle, right? And I know what you're thinking. Oh, a sniper rifle and zombies. What the hell? That thing's probably trash. And you'd be right, because most of them are. But what's unique about this one is that it fires an explosive shot, and it's not instant, so it takes a minute. If you have PhD Flopper, you can shoot it at the ground in front of you, and then it'll make a giant explosion, kill a whole fucking horde, and that's what it does, man. It just explodes your entire horde. I know this isn't the greatest weapon for high rounding, so if you're trying to go like above round 40, this thing does fall off pretty hard. It doesn't one-shot anymore. But for my challenge, 0 to 20, it worked out great, man. It fucking worked out great, and it's a blast to use. Definitely one of the more fun guns to use in zombies. Just sniping the zombies from afar, and then you just know they're going to explode is just such a fucking cool feeling, man. So we get the scavenger. That's great and unique. And then we also get the VR11, which is, a little lackluster in my opinion. It could have been a lot better. It's just a shame that, it's just not like a weapon that kills really hard. You know what I mean? It's not what it's designed for. This one is one of those more support style wonder weapons, right? So what happens is when you shoot a zombie with it, they turn into a human, and then they start running away, and then they also drag nearby zombies. Looking at it, they'll start running towards it. I think the guy basically runs to the water to kill himself, or I don't even know where they go, to be honest. I did not pick this weapon up. I've not picked this weapon up in probably close to like 6 or 7 years, to be honest with you. But then I think you can also, if you're playing co-op, what it does is that it gives another player insta-kill, right? Isn't that what happens? So yeah, you could shoot your allies with this, and what it does is that it lets them, it gives them like or the zombies ignore them, right? The zombies ignore them, they get a temporary insta-kill. So if you want to use it in that sense, if you like being a support guy for your friends, then I would recommend this gun. We don't really get a lot of support weapons in zombies just because they're just not that useful, man. I feel like you would rather, if you're running Mule Kick or something, sure, pick this up. But it's just not ideal. I think I would rather have like any other bullet gun, just something more useful. You know, the VR11, it's good. I think you can turn George back into like a slow zombie with it if you piss him off accidentally. But the name of the game is just not pissing off George in the first place, you know. So I don't know. VR11 is it's okay. Both of the wonder. That's the thing about the wonder weapons on Call of the Dead. Like, yes, it introduces two of them. We get the Matryoshka dolls back in this map, which is pretty nice. But the wonder weapons are a little lackluster, and that's probably the most I'll nitpick about them. Scavenger's still so sick to use. VR11 is kind of a piece of shit, but it's not the best. It's not the best. It's not the worst. It's just kind of just a little lackluster, you know. It's not. It's unfortunate, but that's where it stands with that. You know, I love the George Romero presence on this map. His presence, his aura, his big dick energy is just so unique on this map, man. I know I said it before, and I know it's probably going to be repetitive to talk about, but I really just like the fact that George is kind of just pushing you around the map constantly. Yeah, there was a glitch back in the day where you could get him to stand still forever. I can't remember exactly how to do it. It's probably even patched by now. But you could get George to stand still and then play the map normally, but it just doesn't feel the same, you know? His presence, his aura, his just being walking around the map, slowly hunting you down, slowly forcing you to move around, I really think adds just a very unique feature to zombies, man. It's just such a sick identity for a map, man. And it really is just so cool. The Easter egg quest, right? This map has an Easter egg quest, as most maps, or almost every map in the future, besides like a few of the smaller ones we'll do in the future. It's cool that it's playable in solo, man. And this is the first solo one you were able to do, or you could do it in co-op, which is just nice. I might go back and do it one day, but for now, don't really care. I did kill George in my playthrough, but I forgot I didn't do the Easter egg, so I didn't get the Wonder Waff. I just got the shitty death machine, which is unfortunate, but it is cool. That's the Wonder Waff is for the first time is a power up you can pick up, right? Which is just very unique and cool. That's pretty sick, man. I like the flinger. We haven't gotten anything like the flinger up until this point. Just throws you across the map. Very cool and nice to have. Very nice way to just traverse the map, you know. Same with the zip lines. Zip lines were a good addition here. They're not useless like they aren't like it is on Shino Numa. I like the fact that the MP40 comes back on this map in a wall buy, right? It's near Jug on one of the cargo things, one of the freight crates, but yeah, MP40 is available here, so it's just cool to see it return. I didn't pick it up because there's a lot better weapons, and it's in an unfortunate spot though. Like, it's in a spot where I feel like if you already have opened up until this point, I really feel like there's just no point in buying the MP40 unless you just want the gun itself, because there's just better options at this point. But it's just really cool to see it return, along with a sickle, right? There's no Bowie knife on this map, but we do get a sickle. The sickle comes back, which is pretty cool. We get the debut of a new perk, right? A new perk. We get Deadshot Daiquiri, which is disappointing, man. If you don't know what Deadshot Daiquiri does, it's not the Cold War version. It's the Black Ops 1 version, which on controller, if you're playing on like console, it will snap to head with the auto aim. When you aim down the sights, it'll just look at the zombies' heads. So it's like, sure, it's a useful perk if you don't want to aim that much, I guess. Sure, go for it. But on PC, I believe it just gives you better hipfire spread. I don't know. I've actually never bought this perk on PC, so I actually don't even know what it does. But I'm pretty sure that's what it does, is it spreads, it keeps your hipfire tighter. So it's not like it's like it is in Cold War, where this perk, Deadshot Daiquiri in Cold War, is actually nutty. This perk is just really underwhelming, and just, it's kind of a waste of a perk slot, because it's like, sure, you can aim to the zombies' heads quicker, but you'd rather have that perk slot for something that's more useful, you know? Oh, there goes my messages. Sorry. Yeah, you'd rather have something than Deadshot in your inventory, you know, like Stamina Up or PhD, which also make a return in this map. Yeah, we get all of the OG perks, minus, I really think the root beer isn't in this one, right? I don't believe double tap is in this one, but PhD flopper returns and stamina up returns, which is good because both of those perks are very useful in this map. Stamina up in general. George forces you to run around, and then stamina makes you quicker. So it's they really work hand in hand with each other. No, double tap is in this map, right? It's on the front of the boat, like near the MPL wall buy. I forgot that this part isn't even a section you can go on because I'm never here. I'm never here, one, and I also never buy double tap on this map because, it's just not that useful. It's not double tap 2 yet, so it's not that great. I just kind of ignore it on this map. But yeah, I forgot that George also drops a perk when you kill him. So there's potential to get every perk on the map on this map, which is very cool. You can have all the perks if you want to keep killing George, which is definitely a challenge. It's a lot easier if you have the scavenger, which is not bad at killing George. It's actually very good at it, but it's just hard to find time as a solo player in general. Sure, you could leave a zombie, but I feel like he'll just die to the scavenger splash damage if you try to keep shooting George with it. Maybe I could be wrong. I'm sure there's a better strategy, but I didn't really do that. I didn't want to go down that route just because it takes forever to kill George, and I feel like having all the perks is just not worth it for a solo playthrough when you have to put in that much work. It's just not ideal. Not ideal. Let's talk about the song, guys. The Easter egg song. I'll give you 3 seconds to remember what it is. 1, 2. Avenged fucking Sevenfold, guys. This is the first Avenged Sevenfold song we get in Zombies, and it's Not Ready to Die, right? And it's just so fucking cool, man. We get Eminem in 5, and then it goes back to Alina Sigmund for Ascension, and we're just like, oh, okay, that was a cool, like, one-time celebrity, famous music debut in Zombies. That was cool. And then Treyarch comes back and they're like, oh, we're not done yet, guys. And then we get Avenged Sevenfold in this map. If you don't know Avenged Sevenfold, they're a huge, like, rock band. Huge, like, arguably one of the biggest rock bands of our century. It's not really metal, more of like hard rock. I actually don't know the genres. I'm just kind of bullshitting around here, but I feel like that's close. They're kind of heavy, not too heavy though, not like heavy metal, but just just hard rock, man, and it's fucking awesome. Seeing Avenged Sevenfold in the game for the first time, and they later make an appearance in like Black Ops 2, or their songs do rather. It's just so cool to see, man. It's such a fucking awesome addition to Zombies. Like, when you think the music can't get any better, they drop an Avenged Sevenfold track on us. Like, bro, we were really getting blessed back in the days with Zombies, right? Like, compare fucking Zombies back then and the Zombies drops to what we get now. What do we get? An occasional Modern Warfare update, like, to Zombies, and they focus Warzone first. It's like, man, I hope we can return to... I know I say it in every Zombies video, but they need to start updating Zombies as its own entity. I feel like it could go so crazy, man. There's just so much potential there for a fucking fantastic mode to be had, I don't know why they keep shaft Zombies every time and just put it on the back burner, man. It's so sad to see because this is why a lot of the people play this game do, you know what I mean? That didn't really make sense, but the spirit's there, right? The spirit is there. I just don't know why they shaft Zombies, man. This map just does so much right, and they should look back on it and be like, man, people really like this. We should put more of our resources into Zombies, man. We could bring a lot of the player base back. But anyways, I'm not going to go on too much longer about that. It is what it is. They want to do what they want to do. And if they want to make content, I mean, I'm sure there's probably more Warzone players than there is Zombies players, so I get it. But I don't know. It's just sad to see. Won't go on too long, though. But that's that. I like that all the perks return, man, and we get the return of Salmon Up and Flopper. I like the fact that they tried something new with Deadshot, even though it's not the best. But, it's new. It's a new piece of content, so can't go too wrong, I guess, with it, right? I guess I'll get into a couple things I dislike about it. And there's not going to be too much, man. I don't like the fog, I guess. This is going to be really nitpicky, but the fog isn't that great. If you don't know, the map fogs up just every once in a while, every couple rounds. It fogs up and you have a hard time seeing. Not the end of the world though. If you're still running around a spot, you're pretty safe. It limits visibility, but that's all it really does. It's not too much. Another thing I don't like is, the shitty box weapons, but that's not a Call of the Dead problem. That's just a Black Ops 1 problem. Bullet guns suck. They always do. They always have. In these early games, they all suck. You have to have the wonder weapons that carry you, which is, it is what it is. I'm not going to get too much into it, but that's just a Black Ops 1 issue. Whatever. I don't like the unused. I feel like they could have done more with the ship on this map, right? I feel like I'm never ever towards the front of the ship ever, unless I need to buy Juggernog or the box is up by the front of the ship. But it just kind of feels like dead space. Not the survival horror game, just like an area in the game you just don't go. You know what I mean? Could have done more with this, I think, but the rest of the map is so well laid out that it's just a small complaint from me. Just a small complaint. Another small complaint is just Deadshot being shitty, It's not the fact that Deadshot's shitty, right? It's actually kind of useful, and it's probably useful for a lot of zombies players starting out. But it's just the fact that it wastes a perk slot is criminal, you know what I mean? Because you could have Deadshot instead of faster reload. You could have Deadshot instead of non-explosive damage, right? You could have Deadshot instead of faster fire rate. It's just such a throw pick to take, in my opinion, if you're only going to have the 4 perks. If you're getting all the perks, then whatever, you can justify it, sure. But it's just not worth wasting one of the 4 valuable perk slots on, man. Say it was on Cold War's mechanics and you could buy all the perks, sure, it'd be a different story, but when you're limited to 4 perks in these old games and you don't plan on killing George to get the free perks, then it's just a throw pick, it's just not going to do you all that great. It is what it is. That's really all I have to say negative about this map. Sure, you could say that George is annoying following you around, but I actually really like the gimmick. I think it makes for a really fun, unique challenge that we don't really see in zombies. He offers this presence, this aura, as I've said before, and it's just a sweet challenge, man. I really think they really did a fucking awesome job with this map. They really knocked it out of the park, man. That's all I'm gonna really say about it. This episode's not gonna be that long, or the minisode rather is not gonna be too long. I'm just gonna suck this map's dick off. You know what I mean? It's gonna bust. I'm gonna make this map bust because it deserves it, dude. This was such a cool map. Also, another thing I'll mention, I guess I'll just nitpick really quick. Not the end of the world, but the freezing water sucks. If you stand in the cold water, you will freeze over slowly until you die. But if you keep jumping, you can kind of prolong the effect. You can kind of delay it. You just don't want to be in the water too long. The only time you ever want to be in the water is if you're traversing around spawn or if you're trying to bring George to the water to calm him down. But that's really it. It's just a small nitpick. It's just one of the hard gameplay elements of the map that they give you. And I can see how it can get annoying. It could definitely get annoying. I'm not gonna fight anybody on that. It could definitely get annoying, so it is what it is, not too bad at the end of the day, honestly. So let's get into map rating, right? Is there anything else for me to talk about? Let me think about it. Real quick, all right? Let me think about it. Oh, I didn't mention while we're here to doing the lore. I don't, you guys know I don't know too much about the lore, as I say in every video, but basically, the crew is teleported from Ascension to here, I believe, right? They're stuck behind the door, and they have the Call of the Dead crew try to get this little device for them, the little golden rod thing that Richtofen eventually takes to the moon. I can't. It's just he's grabbing a part for his grand scheme of taking control of the zombies, and right here lies an important piece of it. So that's basically it for the lore. We'll get into the rating now, and it's going to get a good rating, guys. What do you think I'm going to rate this? Take a second and think. I'll give you 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. It's an A tier map to me, dude. This is a solid A tier all along. It's going to go in the high A tier eventually. I don't know how it's going to do against future maps. Like I said, I'm going to pit them all against each other at a tier list at the end, or maybe rank them from worst to best. Maybe I'll do both. I don't know. Whatever's more practical. But this is definitely going to get a solid A tier for me, guys. I love this map. And it's just crazy how taste changes, right? Taste definitely changes, because this was not one of my more played maps back in the day, man. But coming back to it all these years later, fucking holds up so well, dude. Holds up so well. I really enjoyed my time on this map, dude. So we're going to give it an A tier. Out of 10 rating, I can't give it any less than a 9, man. Can't give it any less than a 9. What's annoying on this map is not as annoying as it is to play. I just think it's such a fucking great time to play, man. Wonder weapons are cool. Matryoshka dolls return. George Romero is such a cool, iconic fucking character in zombies and just in the world in general. And it's just cool to see him tied into this map as a unique challenge. Say what you want about the fog, say what you want about the ice, but there's also no dog rounds on this map, which kind of sucks, you know? Sometimes it feels like you're starved for ammo and you got to recycle the box and kind of just keep spinning the box until you get what you want back or you have enough ammo. But they have Mule Kick in this map to kind of offset that, so it's not too bad. Mule Kick didn't launch with it. Mule Kick came when the Moon update came. So yeah, that's really it, man. The Pack-a-Punch also moves on this map, I forgot to mention. Moving Pack-a-Punch, slightly annoying. It's not the end of the world, though, because you're only going to Pack-a-Punch one time, you know what I mean? So it's not too bad. The lighthouse light shows you where it is, and then the lightning will strike, and it's yellow. The screen turns yellow to signify the Pack-a-Punch is moving. And you also got the box light to show where the box is, so tracking down that stuff is not hard. But that's really it, man. That's all it is. I'm not gonna go on too long, but I feel like I've sucked this map's dick a lot, and it's well deserved, honestly, because it deserves it, man. This map is just so, what's the word I'm looking for? It was so bold. It was such a leap. It was such a step in the right direction. Such a solid innovation to Call of the Dead and to zombies in general. Just such a unique challenge. I know, I'm sorry for being repetitive, but man, it's just such a cool map. And I really urge you, if for some reason you're listening to this, my stupid little podcast, if for some reason you have not tried Call of the Dead, definitely one of the more fun zombies maps to go back to and screw around on, man. And it's probably even more fun with friends. Solo, it was a good experience, but I mean, zombies maps in general, guys, like if you're playing them solo, sure, it's a good time, but they're just better with friends, man. And if you've played all the zombie maps, try custom zombies with your friends, man. It's honestly a really good time. But that's it, man. That's all I'm going to say about Call of the Dead. I'm going to take a pause here, take a sip of water, and then we will get to the outro, man. And I'm not going to talk too long in the outro. I want to record another episode today, but we'll see what happens. All right, guys, I'm going to be right back for the outro, so give me a second here. All right, guys, that was Call of the Dead on the world-famous Call of Duty Black Ops 1. My personal favorite Call of Duty, Jerry's first personal favorite Call of Duty. I just don't think there's any Call of Duty that was as peak as this one, you know. You could say ones are better than this. I'm sure certain multiplayers are better than this. But as far as the campaign experience, the zombies experience, and the multiplayer experience, I think Black Ops 1 just hits it out of the park on all three, man. And the only one that really ever comes close to it is Black Ops 2, you know? If it wasn't for the first two shitty zombies maps on Black Ops 2, I really think that would have been my personal favorite Call of Duty, man. But unfortunately for Transit and for Die Rise, they just didn't really do it for me, man. A Transit is... I'll get into it later in the Transit video. That's going to be probably in a couple weeks or so, but it's coming up soon. I think I only have Shangri-La and Moon to talk about next before we get to Transit. But Transit is just... I'll give you guys a sneak peek. It's not going to get a fucking great score, I'm telling you that. As far as a solo experience anyway, it's definitely... Transit is a co-op map through and through. Transit is not a solo map, dude. Transit is just a miserable fucking experience on solo. You definitely want to play Transit with friends. I do not think the map plays well solo at all in the slightest. But that's that. I won't get into much about that. Expect another video today. It is currently April 7th, 2024, 2:12 p.m. I'm going to go run some errands. Just figured I'd bang out Call of the Dead real quick. Just talk about it real quick. And then I'm not going to do another zombies video today. We're probably going to get into maybe some talk about Halo Infinite or Overwatch, maybe. Maybe I got some stuff to say there. Or maybe it'll be a completely different topic. It'll be different talkies, dude. Oh my god, again? Dude, I'm so fucking popular, bro. And yes, that is Lion's Scan from R6, if you're hearing that. That is my text tone. I just think it sounds cool, man. It sounds cool, and the bass is cool, dude. But anyways, yeah, expect a Halo video. Expect something that's not zombies. Definitely gonna be a couple minisodes because I'm not playing anything at the moment right now. I'm gonna start playing South Park on my Nintendo 64 soon, but I probably won't get done with that until later in the week. Might play Limbo. I want to talk about Doom 2016, but I feel like I just shouldn't. You know, I really want to do those games glory. That's why I'm kind of holding on to games that I want to talk about badly, like Black Ops 1 in general. Nier Automata is a big one I want to talk about. Doom Eternal, Doom 2016 are huge ones I want to talk about. Some of my all-time favorite games, I'm going to wait to put those episodes out because I just want to be better at this podcast in general, you know, before I go and ruin another app. I want those episodes to stand strong. You know what I mean? I really want those episodes to stand strong. So I'm refraining from talking about some of my favorite games just for that reason. Limbo, Inside, and Somerville are some of my favorite games of all time. But I feel like I could just talk about them because they're not very long. They're just very strong indie titles. You know, there's not a lot of gameplay diversity, you know what I mean? It's just you're traversing through a story and the story is telling itself as you play the game, and it's pretty cool. There's no like dialogue or anything, so expect those episodes maybe soon. Expect South Park N64 soon. I also got my GB operator coming in the mail soon, so I might play a Game Boy game or two on my PC so I can upload the gameplay. So that look out for that. That'll be cool. And that's really it, man. I'm not going to spend too much longer on the outro here. Really just wanted to talk some Call of the Dead, man, and I really think this is a strong map for the series. Goes on to be one of the most iconic maps I think ever released. There's definitely a lot of more maps that are worse than this map that we get in the future, which is unfortunate. Black Ops 4 as a whole, you know, just not a strong game in my opinion. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Expect a Halo episode. Expect more random episodes, more minisodes. Expect a mainline episode. Don't expect a mainline episode just yet because I don't know what it's going to be next, right? But that's it, man. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hearing me talk about Call of the Dead. I really like this map. Very strong map. I urge you to go play it if you haven't. And I might see you guys later for another upload. Alrighty? Alright. That's it. We're closing it out. Goodbye. Goodbye. Have a nice day. Kill yourself. Don't do that. I love you. I love you. Jerry loves you, man. Okay, I still don't. I don't know how to just cut it off. You know what I mean? There's never one thing I can just say to just cut it off. I don't know, dude. I need to stop. I need to be stopped on my menace. Thanks for listening. Take care. Goodbye.